Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 1 of Ladder. We have Division 4 tonight. A lot of fun matches coming your way. Kaiju will also be commentating with me here, as well as Ebac. Just waiting for all the players to get loaded in here. Had a little bit of a delay. Sorry about that. Just waiting for players to get home and get in the server, and they'll be starting shortly.
An idea. So I don't know about all y'all in the audience, but we're really excited to see the matches here today in Div 4.
For sure. A lot of experienced players in this division.
For me, I haven't really seen Mello or Labib really play much, but everyone else I'm semi-accustomed with in their play style. So we'll see what will actually turn the tide and make people promote or demote, or the safest option, stay in Div 4.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Mello myself. I don't think Labib or a couple of these players played in TOS, so we haven't seen much of them recently. Who do you think is the favorite to go up to Div 3?
That's a tricky one because I haven't seen really half of the players. I've seen Evan a little bit, but not really at all. But just based off people that I've seen play, I think Zachary has a good shot to make it. C also does as well. But I haven't seen Jello play in a while. So he could have locked in, played offline, played while I was not on because I was gone for a little bit after TLS. So we'll get to see how skilled all these players are as soon as they start the match for real.
Yeah, it looks like we're starting match 1 here.
That was perfect timing. Here we go. Match 1 of Div 4 is starting off here with a couple misses, but they are quickly picking those back up. Mello opting for more coral rather than Evan going for more of an algae auto on that chill out machine. Looks like Red is going to have the early lead here coming out of auto, 56-30, almost double of Blue's score. But with some good gameplay, this can definitely be swung in Blue's favor. Mello putting up the first algae for this Div 4 matches here tonight in the red barge, putting up a second close after, trying to keep that lead and extend it if possible. Evan putting up the first algae for Blue as well. Labib and Jello and C and Zachary just doing the coral for their alliances respectively. Looks like Red is almost done with both alliances actually are almost done with their L4s. Looks like Blue has 2 left. They might try and keep those till the end to try and make Red think they're farther ahead than they actually are. That is a strategy that we have seen in the past. But there goes Labib putting up one of the 2 L4s left for that Blue Alliance. Mello taking off the last algae from the red reef. Blue still has one more, but Mello accidentally pushes one of his own algae onto the other side of the field. Can they capitalize? No, Blue pushes it right back over like it's a game of ping pong. This is actually Reefscape. 50 seconds left on the clock. Evan going to take another ground algae off of the ground, put it up into the barge, but the cages are getting in his way a little bit, hitting around that algae, so it's not as easy for him to get. C scoring some processor, hoping for a bounce out to gain even more lead than this Red Alliance already has. Almost bouncing out, but not quite. C going for another gambling session here. Oh, dang it. Evan putting up another algae in the blue barge. 20 seconds left. It is now end game. 201 to 130 is your score here. It's looking kind of out of reach for the Blue Alliance, but we will see if any shenanigans will happen in the last 10 seconds of this game. C going up for the red, Labib going up for blue. Zachary and Jello join their alliance partners Mello going for one last algae, does not get it last second, but Red still runs away with the lead, 235 to 163.
Yeah, initial reaction, you were right on Zachary there, leading the field by a pretty significant margin. C close behind him, but no one on blue within, almost 30 points of Zachary's 93-point contribution there.
Yeah, Zachary is not to be underestimated, I'm telling you. He can cook.
There was a pretty big algae advantage early in that match for Red. I think Blue, by the end of the match, actually evened it out. So even though it was a pretty big difference, most of that was due to Coral, and efficient Coral scoring by the Red Alliance.
Why are there 4 Red Alliance members?
I think because they joined the server, so we'll go back here while we're waiting for them to start the next match.
Was it secretly a 4v3, guys?
Yeah, they're gonna play 10 total matches tonight, I believe. They'll swap around, so they'll play every single configuration, and we'll check in throughout the night with the rankings to see who's doing well. As with how ladder works, the top 2 people who place first and second will go up into Division 3, and the bottom 2 will demote into Division 5, I believe.
I have a special place in my heart for Division 4. This is where I spent 4 weeks last year in. Div 4 just stayed 4 weeks. So I love Div 4. Great people in Div 4.
Yeah. Pretty good first match there. We'll see what they keep doing with different configurations of teams here. There's a lot to be capitalized on with that algae scoring, though, from watching that first match.
Yes, definitely. I mean, that's been a constant theme throughout the 3 divisions that we've seen so far. 1 and 2, the algae is really what makes the difference. If you get a steal off and the other alliance doesn't, then you're basically guaranteed a win at that high level. And it looks like here as well. But let's see what they change in match number 2 here. On red now, it's Zach, Evan, and C. Blue, Labib, Mello, and Jello. Wow, that rhymed. I'm a poet, and you did not know it. But coming out of auto, Red again has the advantage, but it's much closer than last match. Evan and Mello both putting up their second algae in the barge for their alliances respectively. C having to wait a little bit for Evan to get an algae off the reef there. A little bit of a miscommunication, but they do get past that pretty easily. Not too much of a hiccup. Mello picking up some coral that was dropped by Jello and is putting it into L1 pretty early in the match, making sure that those cannot be stolen by the other alliance. Looks like the lead has grown a little bit for this Red Alliance, partly due to that algae scoring by Evan. Looks like he's doing really good, making sure that he can get all that algae up into that barge as soon as possible so he can start doing L1s. But he misses one accidentally. Very good recovery though, gets it back up in just a couple of seconds. That is very skilled thing to do. Labib struggling a little bit, but he does get that extra coral out of his robot. Looks like he's now going over to score on the reef. There he goes. Mello trying to get around the Labib so he can score some L3s of his own, switching more towards coral instead of algae, and Evan is capitalizing on that, getting 1 steal and going for a second, it looks like. Meanwhile, Zachary and C have just been going ham on this reef. Zachary pretty much done with his half, I think. With 40 seconds left on the clock, there's an over 100-point gap here. This might not be an even match. I just have a hunch.
Not quite. The duo of C and Zachary is playing very well right now.
Yes, they very much are. I think these are the 2 strongest coral scorers in this division, and when they're together, it's just nothing. Looks like nothing can stop them.
Yep.
Endgame is here now. No, whoa, what am I saying? Endgame is here now, though. Mello getting 1, almost 2 coral steals actually. Blue going for their last L4, but tragedy strikes as Labib gets bumped and the coral gets dropped. 3 seconds left. Labib doesn't have time to climb, gets a park instead as time expires. Final score being 269 to 124. Wow, what a match.
Another massive contribution from Zachary there, 110, leading the field by a lot.
110. That is a very good score. That's like he was putting up contribs same as Div 2 and 1 right now,
for sure.
which is kind of crazy. We might see him there in the future. We'll have to wait a few weeks to see, but you never know. It looks like it could be possible.
While they're changing positions here, we're gonna take a quick preview of the rankings to see where what has happened so far. C and Zachary get to play 4 matches together to start out, and then they play 6 against each other, I believe.
Correct. Yeah.
Starting that duo pretty well here, 2-0.
Yeah, it is the benefit of ranking top of your division. You get to play with the second best player for 4 of your matches in a row, so you can really get that synergy right away. It was very helpful. But after that, we will see the divisions, the rankings start to mix up a little bit, possibly, depending on who wins out, Zachary or C.
All right.
But it looks like red domination currently.
Yeah, I imagine we see that continue here through these next 2 matches. Looks like people are still changing out robots here. But I haven't seen much to convince me that any trio will beat C and Zachary so far.
The only thing I can see right now is they have 3 Rust Hounds players for match 3. Although, has C played Chill Out? I don't remember.
I don't know. I think Zachary might switch. It looks like everyone's on the field. Let's take a look before they start here.
Yeah, Zachary. Zachary is going to be the Chill Out player for the Red Alliance.
That's questionable considering he has been the highest scoring Coral player so far.
I do agree.
But we'll see.
But I don't think Labib has ever played it, and I don't think C is comfortable.
It's probably true. Yeah.
So I think this is probably their only choice, if I had to guess.
All right, just waiting for everybody to ready up here.
We'll be on our way in just a moment. Oh, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crescendo. And we are off. Zachary off the line in the opposite direction accidentally, it looks like. But he is going for a Coral auto, which we haven't really seen from any of the chill outs yet. Looks like he's struggling a little bit with the pickups there. But he does get 2 on, sadly, just after auto ends. So not an extra 2 points. But Red barely with the lead out of auto, I think, this time. Not so much the dominant win that you would see in the last few matches, so this could swing Blue's way. We will have to wait and see. But Red is trying to keep up their lead here by 1 point currently, but Blue is fighting hard, trying to make sure that Red cannot catch up or keep this up. Blue has now taken the lead. Red has now taken the lead.
Pretty even match here.
Yeah, this is a really even match. Looks like Zachary being put out of his comfort zone with a slightly weaker Coral scorer of Labib, but still pretty good, has put this match within grasp of this Blue Alliance. Looks like they're going for bounce outs, which they do get, putting this match even closer than it already was. But Zachary is there to clean up the bounce outs, although he does put 1 back to the Blue Alliance, so maybe they can capitalize on that, make sure they get the 6 points. But here comes Zachary with the steal to make sure that he can get rid of that bounce out benefit. There he goes, putting it up in the red.
Oof.
Oh, no, he does not put it up in the red, and he just lets it go. He's going to let Jello sweep it up and put it in the processor for this Blue Alliance, putting them temporarily in the lead, and it does bounce out. So that will put Blue back in this game, 144 to 141. Oh my gosh, I can't even keep up. 144 to 147. 30 seconds left on the clock. This is the closest game that we have seen, folks.
Super close match here. It's going to come down to the climbs.
It very much will. Speaking of climbs, it is now end game. 158 to 149 within 10 points is insane. for the last few scores that we have been seeing from these alliances. 10 seconds left. No blue robots back to climb yet. Jello is now there. Mello looks like he's going back as well with 3 seconds left. Can he get that climb to clinch the win? 1 second, 0. Sadly,
Wow.
it does not pan out. 170 to 190. Insane of a match there. Very, very close. Good fight by blue there. Almost clinched the win, but not quite.
Yeah, you see, Curtis did very well on the primary coral scoring there. Zachary, it was pretty even, I think, on Algae, but there was some bounce outs from blue that didn't help them enough.
Yeah, I agree. And the most important thing when a bounce out happens is you have to pick up that algae specifically and put
Yeah.
it in the barge, because that negates the bounce out.
Yep.
And Zachary was trying to do that, which was very good by him, but not quite fully committing to that, and it almost cost the match, but did not end up, which was very lucky.
For sure. Well, the duo of Curtis and Zachary continues to dominate here a bit. A little bit closer that time, but still finishing it out.
Jello putting up 77 as well. Pretty good on his part with the coral score in there. One of the highest contribs I think we've seen so far on coral scoring, besides C and Zachary.
All right, I think they're back in here. We just wait for them to ready up. Interestingly, we do see Zachary continue to stay on that Sub-Zero robot. It worked last match, so they must feel confident in that now.
I think that Jello is a slightly better coral scorer than Labib, so I think they're even more confident this match that they can risk having Zachary on that chill out.
Yeah, you can see right
and
there,
not
he
being
put
as
up
close.
a 77 contribution, which is not bad at all.
Yeah, no, it is not. We'll see what he'll be able to put up this time. Maybe he can crack the 80 barrier there. But we'll have to wait and see for these people to ready up. Wish I could spam R right now.
Yeah. Probably just discussing some strategy here or something, but there we go.
Probably so, but here we go. Match number 4, I believe. Last one that we will see C and Zachary together. So they want to keep this 4. They want to make this streak 4-0. We'll see if they can do that. Zachary much more successful with his coral auto this time. Getting
massive auto.
Maybe getting a 3-piece, but yeah, massive auto from red regardless, doubling the score of Blue Lions in auto alone. Let's see if they can keep that up throughout teleop. Evan putting up the first algae of the match for the Blue Alliance. Zachary following close behind for red. Looks like Jello is de-algifying some of the reef to make sure that he can score as many nodes as possible, as fast as possible. Evan currently winning the algae race against Zachary, clearly the more accustomed to chill out gameplay of the two. But as I say that, he flings an algae over the barge and into the red alliance side of the field. I'm very sorry, Evan, if that cost the match, that's my bad. But 81 to 140, still a 60 point gap. Not quite double, but still a larger gap than the start of the match. But now that algae is starting to get cleared off of the field, it is now close to being just coral being that main point scorer here. Would love to see Evan go for an algae steal here off the reef, try and get them back in this match. But I think he's just going to try and go for his own off of the reef first, which does make sense, to be fair. 50 seconds left, 70-point gap for this Red Alliance. Looks like Zachary and C will keep this streak going, but we're holding out hope for this Blue Alliance as we are getting closer and closer to endgame.
Yeah, Blue Alliance is a massive coral spill going on in that bottom station. There's about
I just now realized
15
there are 2 chill-out players.
Oh.
2 chill-outs on this Blue Alliance.
Yeah, Mello
which means they will also be down in endgame. Which is an interesting choice that might not have worked out the best for them.
Ooh,
Labib having to reset there, I didn't see why. I think he might have gotten stuck on the reef. But Evan getting a possession foul, and Labib going to climb for the Blue Alliance. Doesn't quite get it though as time expires. Final score of 263 to 134. Zachary with a 79 on chill out. That is very impressive. For Div 4, that is very good. C also putting up 90 on the Rust Hounds machine. Very, very good. Evan with a respectable 55 as well.
Yeah, taking a peek at our rankings after that, because C and Zachary went 4-0, everyone else is tied at 1-3. So C and Zachary, massive advantage towards going to Div 3. Everyone else pretty equal into staying into Div 4.
Yeah, I think unless something horribly goes wrong, where maybe C wins the next matches and Zachary doesn't, we could see Zachary demote or stay, but at this point in time, we will see.
Yeah, looking pretty good, and you can tell in that total points category on the far right there, which is the tiebreaker. So it's a big deal to have high-scoring matches. They have a pretty big advantage there as well through 4 matches. Now that we are switching into the later matchups here, more people have to switch around to different alliances, so it takes a little bit longer to get everyone back on the field. Alright, looks like all 6 robots are back.
Okie dokie. Looks like everyone is good. Just waiting for them to ready up. Oh, they stopped moving. Here we go. Match number 5. This is the halfway point of this series here. Let's see, now that C and Zachary are on opposite alliances, what that will do to the scores here. It definitely made Otto much closer, that is for sure. Only 3 points separating these alliances.
Looks like we have a triple rust from Blue.
Yeah, I was just about to say, triple rust from Blue.
Starting
not
the proc
any
spam
kill
early.
here. Yes, which I do not agree with. I think proc spam is much better at near the end of the game when Red has filled up their barge, but
yep, they should wait.
I do agree that that does help with Red not being able to steal any of the algae. That is nice, and it's at least 2 points. But it is allowing Red to get ahead here, 115 to 98. Not too big of a gap, but it can get bad with enough time if they do not get any bounce outs soon. Mello being very careful, touching the cage, but through the algae, so it isn't a foul. Mello scoring a processor there, trying to maybe match the Blue Alliance.
Yeah, stops the bounce out strategy.
Probably does, although there are a lot of algae already on that half, and that
there it goes.
Bounce out for Blue. Could, if it keeps bouncing out, this could spell disaster for the Red Alliance. Although that one does stay in, Labib trying to go for another proc, but Mello says no and is camping in front of that processor hole, trying to make sure that that algae does not go inside there. Mello maybe a bit of entangling there, not really sure what he's trying to do, but Labib is spending a lot of time trying to get past Mello instead of scoring Coral, which is maybe not the best idea. But with almost endgame being here, it is only 30 points that separate these alliances. And we do have to mention that Blue Alliance does have the climb advantage. So even though it looks like, whoa,
and they get a foul.
Looks like some entangling is going on over there. Mello getting stuck inside of Zachary. Could this swing the match? We'll see. 220, 237 to 247. Points are swinging around. Holy crap. 257 to 247.
There was
Red
a flash.
barely eking out the win there.
For a
there
moment.
was a flash of Blue being a tie, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Which has not happened yet, which would have been interesting to see.
That would have been unfortunate for our ranking sheet, but it would have been funny to see. The red.
Labib says Uncle C for the win.
Yeah.
Very happy about that win. But both C and Zachary putting up high Coral scores as usual. Evan as well, putting up 84 for this Red Alliance.
Yeah.
Very respectable for Coral here. Mello putting up 34 as well on that chill out machine.
Looking at our rankings halfway through here. The red streak continues.
Yes, it does. I think this is the longest streak that we've seen. Yet in ladder. Yes, ladder. I accidentally, oh no, wait. The longest streak is 6 wins in a row by Div 2 Red Alliance. So we'll see if that gets beaten in 2 matches.
Getting there.
It'll be interesting.
I think this one will probably be one of the harder ones. We've seen Labib and Mello struggle a little bit, and I think they're with C on this one.
Yes.
So I'm not sure. Mello will probably be playing that Sub-Zero robot. We'll see what they can pull off here. Looks like we're still waiting for a blue robot. I think Evan to join the field here, and we'll start shortly.
I think this is going to be a really interesting match because we've seen close matches and we've seen upsets in ladder already in Div 1 and Div 2. So we'll see if this upset continues, this upset trend continues with this match here. Because I think Blue is the favorite to win this match, but we will see. We will see.
Yeah, based on what we've seen, they definitely are. Looks like we have triple rush though, I think, on Blue, which isn't super great for them. I'm kind of surprised to see that. I thought Evan and Zachary both playing Sub-Zero today, but they're going for triple rust in this match.
We'll see how that works out for them right now, as auto is now underway. 3 pieces getting put up quickly for this Blue Alliance. 3 more trying to go up before the end of auto. Can Evan get his 3rd? He's struggling a little bit with the intake. I think he might have gotten it, which does put Blue in the lead, 54 to 35. Mello putting up the 2nd algae in the red barge. And Jello answering with an algae inside of the processor, trying to get bounce outs already, but Mello being smart, putting the algae on the right side, or the center side of the barge, so that they don't stack up near where bounce outs happen.
Yeah, very well done. Keeping them on that end.
That is a very, um, not a very easy thing to know. And in Div 4, if it's happening in Div 4, that's a very good thing to see.
Hmm.
Jello still spamming that processor though, trying to get as many bounce outs as possible,
Oof.
although not one yet. Mello clipping a cage accidentally, giving Blue a bigger lead here, 135 to 107. Jello struggling to try and get one in that processor, which he does before pulling away from Mello, and barely not getting the bounce out there, which does help Red a tremendous amount, with Mello now playing a lot of processor defense, trying to make sure that Jello, ooh, almost getting a foul there. Jello does not get any more of those algae in the processor. Mello now switching to just plain defense, but allowing Jello to almost get one in the processor. Jello having a little bit of trouble. Labib putting a processor up for the Red Alliance as well. Only worth 2 points though because it did not bounce out. 184 to 151 is the current score going into the last 30 seconds of this match. Labib putting up the last coral on the L4 level. There he goes, and he's good. Endgame is now upon us. Looks like Labib is going back early to maybe get a climb. I don't know if he's climbed yet, but he's going for it this match, trying to make sure that he goes up. 200-point mark has been crossed by the Blue Alliance here. 176 to 207, still a close game. Every robot now back in that barge zone trying to get those climbs. 228, 238 for your Blue Alliance to the 200 for your Red. C, wow, with a massive 105 contribution here for the Red Alliance. Sadly, not enough though to clinch the win from the Blue Alliance.
Yeah, Blue actually had that advantage there in the end game with the extra climb playing the triple rust. I think they did get all 3 of those climbs based on how the
I
scoring
think
went
so.
there.
Labib getting his climb this match though, that was good to see. And great to see that he's learning as well, making sure he's going back early to make sure he can get that climb for his team. That was really good. See the development there.
Yeah, it was within a climb difference. Only a 38-point difference there. They just solidified it in the end. I thought Mello did a pretty good job of not allowing bounce outs that match, but the coral difference was just too much to overcome.
I agree. Yeah. Evan, even though he's mostly a chill out player, he does do pretty good on the Rust Hounds machine. After that match, it does look like Zachary is now in the lead by about 28 points, it looks like, being the
Super
tiebreaker there.
close.
But it looks like Evan and Jello and Mello are fighting for that staying positions there. And Labib trying to crawl back up from 6th to one of those staying positions, which is possible. He is not far behind in total points, and he's only 1 win away from being tied with everyone else above him for a ranking.
Yeah, playing with Evan and Zachary here, I believe, if I'm reading it right. So he could pass Jello and Mello with a big win here.
He definitely can. It is possible. And we have seen very close wins, but also very, very big wins in this division. It is very, very wild, varying wildly in like score points here, depending on the alliance.
Match 4 was a 130-point difference, I believe, based on the
that was an interesting match.
Match there.
Yeah, 129-point difference there.
I think we have all 6 robots back on the field.
Yes, we do. So we are looking for Blue Alliance to win here, for Labib to try and crawl back into this division. Red Alliance here, if they win, that will be huge for C to try and clinch the first place position over Zachary. Which does help in next week, I think. I'm not sure though.
It does change
and
some.
Here we go. Does help a little bit the higher you rank. But here we go. It is now off to the races. Labib barely missing his first coral there and doing a little bit of driving around in the back, trying not to get in the way of Zachary and Evan, which
Ooh,
did pan
stealing
out very well for the
algae.
Blue Alliance. Oh, looks like he's stealing algae and playing defense a little bit. Looks like. Yep. He's trying to just get in the way of this Red Alliance, just to make sure that they can't really do much, which is not something that we've seen from this division yet. So we'll see how this actually plays out, because this could completely rock the Red Alliance here. And it looks like it kind of is. 91 to 60, 30-point gap here with a lot of time left on the clock. So we'll see if that grows or shrinks as time goes on. Labib just staying over, not really passing algae, just keeping it in his intake, trying to make sure that Mello can't take that and put it up into the barge. Zachary and Evan on the blue side going ham on the reef there. Almost done with L4, just one left to go, which Evan is getting right now. And even though they just finished L4, they're also almost done with L3. Mello putting up the third algae into that barge, 132 to 99. Blue advantage still. Looks like Labib is just shutting down one of the sources. We saw this a bit in Div 2 and a little bit in Div 1 with E-Man, which it seems to be pretty effective, honestly. It makes it a lot harder to score as much points.
Yeah, you can see he's hurting C's contribution a lot here, not even at 50 points yet with 30 seconds left to go.
Yeah, Zachary with no defense though, he's already at 97. This could be his highest scoring match yet. We'll have to see when the match ends though. Labib getting a foul, which slightly made the match closer, but not too much. Evan trying to score some processor in the last few seconds here. But Mello is denying him the chance. Labib climbing on the wrong cages.
He's in the wrong side.
Could actually throw the match for the Blue Alliance. Does this throw it? Oh my gosh, that was close. My heart was dying right there. It flickered in Red Alliance favor there, 191 to 183. But the chaos of Labib in the cages in Endgame kind of just made the climbs not count. That was definitely an interesting end to the match there.
That was
gotta say
wild. A massive score from Zachary there in that match at 116.
Yeah, 116.
Holy cow.
That is really, really high. And if it weren't for that, Blue Alliance would have lost this match. So he locked in on the right match, 100%.
Yeah.
And that defense really hurting C there, only getting about like 60 contrib, I think.
Yeah, let's check that. I think it was just 54.
Or 56.
54.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait, no,
moved.
54. Wow.
Yeah, it moves around when they rejoin on us there. But yeah, I don't think he got his climb, but he probably got the foul for it because of Labib sitting in front of the cage.
That was very interesting to watch.
Yeah, and Labib
looks like,
even with those fouls, he has life.
yes, he does. He won that match. Looks like he's still last, but he's tied for last. So if he can win one more match with Mello and C here, or no, rather, wait, no, did he win that match?
Should be.
Yes, he did win that match.
Yeah.
Sorry, Evan and C is who he is with this time, which both are good coral scorers. So we'll see if they put him on defense again, because that seemed to work pretty well. As long as he doesn't climb on the blue cages this time.
It worked well until endgame. Yes. Yeah, putting him on Zachary would probably be a pretty good strategy here to slow Zachary down.
I agree. They can slow Zachary, the scoring machine of this alliance ladder division here. That could swing the match heavily in Red's favor. And it looks like, yeah, Red is going for the triple rust strategy, while Blue's going for the 2 rust, 1 chill. something that we haven't seen yet is Barker gameplay in Div 4. I think we've definitely had it in Div 2, but I'm not sure about Div 1. I don't remember if anybody played Barker up there, but it would be funny to see some Barker gameplay. Produce an interesting match for Div 2, which, oh wait, you guys haven't seen that yet. My bad. I've been referencing Div 2 stuff.
Mildly.
But you guys will get to see what I'm talking about.
Hopefully coming out soon with some of those recorded matches.
Yes, those should come out soon. Speaking of soon, this match is happening right now, and all the robots are off the line in auto. Labib trying to get his one-piece auto that he's been doing very well all of this ladder division. Lining it up, making sure it's good. Can he get it last second? Oh, he risked for it and accidentally climbed the reef. Tragic for this Red Alliance having to reset. 69 to 53 is the score currently. Looks like Labib is going for Coral instead of defense this match, which might cost them the game, but we will see. Going for triple Coral scoring here, I think.
Some processor spamming from C here.
He does get a bounce out right away.
Wow.
That is actually very good for
and
this
another,
he gets
holy cow.
two bounce outs for this Red Alliance, bringing this match back within 4 points, which is very, very good for Red. Mello putting up one algae into the barge. Evan putting up one algae into the processor with barely not a bounce out for Red Alliance. Almost got 3 in a row there, which would have been kind of crazy this early on in the match. You don't really get to see that often. Evan going for more proc while C goes for more Coral. Labib over on the blue side of the field doing his patented defense, which has made this match much closer, but he is defending Jello instead of Zachary, which is an interesting choice. Just camping around, making sure Jello has to take the long cycles around for all of the Coral that he gets. 156 to 171. Jello barely not getting that processor in. Looking like he's going for it again, maybe. Labib making sure that he can't, but he does get a foul in the process. And also, Jello looks like he's going to be able to get a processor here, which he does. Zachary feeling unharmed by this defense with almost 20 seconds left. It is still a very close match. Red has the triple climb, so if they are within 10 points, this could go in Red's favor. Endgame is now here. Labib going for the climb early. Love to see it. C going for one last processor, but getting bumped by Mello last second there, trying to play a little bit of defense. Evan leaving till last second to go climb, getting denied by Mello. And that does, in fact, leave Blue with the victory here, 233 to 209. Nobody crossing the 100-point barrier here in terms of contribution, which I think is the first time, but they definitely got close.
Yeah, a little
Zachary,
more
Jello, Evan, and C. Very good scores.
Yeah, not quite as clean as a match, but still a strong win from Blue there.
I agree. Looking at the rankings here, Zachary still up front, C not far behind. Evan and Jello barely hanging on to their staying, with Mello just behind Jello by quite a bit in tiebreaker, but if he can win while against Jello, he will be in the green. Labib looking like he might demote, but he still has 2 matches to clutch up. He has Zachary and C, or Zachary and Mello this next match. So we will see what this match might go like in just a few minutes.
Looks like everybody is back on the field here.
Nice. Zachary already climbed for the Blue Alliance.
Getting some practice in there. I believe we're going to see triple rust out of the Red Alliance this time.
Looks like it. Mello playing the chill out as he do. I think he has been the whole night, actually. I don't think he's switched off of that.
I think that is true, yep.
That is his machine. Do you think that being really good at one robot or like pretty good at two different ones is better? What would you say?
Within this context, I think it's really important to have a Sub-Zero at the highest level of play. Even if you're not quite as good at Sub-Zero, a decent Sub-Zero is typically going to beat a triple Rust Towns alliance. So having that flexibility is required in this game, I believe.
I think so as well, but if you're like really good at chill out or really good at Rust Hounds, just being able to stay that, especially if you're really good in terms of your division, that also has a benefit.
For sure. If enough people were as good as chill out as Lumpy is, we'd probably see more just chill out alliances. Lumpy scores
Yes.
at about the same pace as most people does on chill out on Rust Downs. So
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
the ceiling is pretty
He's
high.
goated. We are off to the races. Penultimate match of Div 4. The rankings are close near the bottom, so this will determine who will go and who will stay. Endgame is now over. Red with the lead, 51-46. C and Evan de-algifying the Reef for the Red Alliance, trying to get all the nodes cleared for themselves to cycle onto. Jello putting up 2 processor right away, with 1 bouncing out, barely, getting a little bit stuck there, and putting up a total of 4 in rapid succession. Labib trying to slow him down a little bit, but he gets another bounce out. 2 out of 4 bouncing out here. Very good for this Red Alliance, trying to keep this lead. C now going on to the algae roll here. Not getting as lucky with the bounce outs, though. Both of them staying in. Looks like Mello is now going for processor instead of barge, trying to mitigate those bounce outs from the Red Alliance. But that does mean each algae is worth less for this Blue Alliance unless they get bounce outs. C putting up a lot of processor for this Red Alliance. Labib, I think, should start trying to play some defense on that, because those bounce outs are going rampant right now. C's gotten 2 in a row, maybe 3 here. Yes, he does. Ooh, Mello unluckily getting a foul there. Not sure from what. Oh, it's because Labib is on this side of the field as well.
Oh,
I don't think Mello notices until now, getting 3 fouls from that, sadly, I think, before noticing what was happening there. Labib switching to more processor defense, which is good to see. 208 to 173. This is still close match here. Zachary crossing the 100-point mark in contribution here before endgame even has started. Looks like another high-scoring match, or high contrib match from Zachary here. 12 seconds left on the clock. Looks like blue is going to climb here. Red doing the same at 6 seconds. They have the triple rust, so they could clinch this win if they get enough. Wow, there they go, 267. 6-7 to 217. Zachary putting up a massive 128 for this Blue Alliance. And Evan putting up 81 for the red. But sadly, the 128 from Zachary was not enough to make this match go in Blue's favor.
Yeah, that's got to feel pretty bad for Zachary. Can't ask for much more there. 128, 47 points more than anyone else on the server, and you lose? That's a bit tough.
I've been in that position before, and it is not fun.
Still in first place if you go to our rankings here, I believe. But there is one more match left.
Yes, there is. Looks like it will be C, Labib, and Jello versus Zachary, Mello, and Evan.
Looks like,
We'll see how this goes in
unfortunately,
just a moment.
Labib has been locked into demoting here, but
Yeah, I didn't want to point that out, but it
yeah,
does look like we're going to have to say goodbye to Labib from Division 4 today. But he should still try his best, as everyone else should, for his alliance partners. That is a very important thing to do.
yeah, he'll be the first or second seed in Div 5, so he'll have that advantage next week. We'll have to see
That
who
is true.
goes down, though. Mello and Jello are playing against each other, so there still is a chance for either of them to demote here. And technically, Evan and C are playing against each other. The tiebreaker is pretty massive advantage for C here.
Yeah, same with between Jello and Mello.
Yeah, there's a
Tiebreaker is a
pretty
pretty big gap.
advantage.
So this is going to have to be a blowout of a game for anything to really get shaken up. But this is XRC. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. We've seen robots try to climb on the wrong side of the barge.
That is true.
Hopefully we don't see that again, but
And if
you never know.
Labib does that when they are down by about 30 already,
Yeah,
that could spell disaster for the Red Alliance.
it definitely could. Looks like everybody's back on the field.
Okay, for the final match here on Div 4 of Week 1, who will come out on top? We'll find out in just a bit. Looks like everyone stopped moving, so that means 3, 2, 1, dive! All robots moving off the line in auto pretty much right away. Jello going for his one piece, Labib going for his as well. Can he get it? Barely does in time. Jello trying to go for another one, but doesn't get it in time, sadly. But I think Red still, yes, does have the advantage coming out of auto. Very good for this alliance here. Trying to get C wanting that number 1 position to try and get a little bit of an advantage going into Division 3 next week if he promotes.
Evan had some issues there and disconnected. He's back on the server, but he's not moving.
Not moving. That is very bad for this Blue Alliance.
Doing victory circles? I'm not entirely sure what's going on.
He's just vibing over there. He's just a chill guy. For real, for real.
Only a 20-point lead. It's still pretty winnable for Blue if Evan comes back.
Yes, Mello saying something in chat. Can't quite see that, though, on stream.
Looks like his keyboard is having some issues.
Evan is back again. He's moving a little bit.
A very little bit.
Not quite a lot. The gap has now grown to 30 points. Labib being a very good, gracious professionalism player, not taking advantage of Evan's position right now and farming fouls. That is great to see. Evan is back. He's alive. He is alive.
With a minute left in this match, it's not impossible.
20. It's literally only 20 points. That is very doable. If climbs are missed and Red spends too much time on doing something that is not very advantageous, this could go in the favor of Blue.
Oh.
Mello yeeting an algae over to the blue side of the field. I've never seen that strategy before, but it's definitely interesting.
It's getting
18 points separate these alliances. Going into endgame, this is within a climb pretty much. Mello yeeting more algae over, but the bounce outs from Red Alliance does not help this match get any closer. And a foul from Mello. Very, very tragic for this Blue Alliance. But it is still very, very close game. 199 to 220. 189 with the climb decounting there at the very end. Meaning Zachary 92, Contrib C 87, but still running away with the win there. Let's see how these rankings have changed, if at all, once the scores have been inputted here.
Super unfortunate that Evan disconnected there.
Yeah, that is very sad.
Entirely sure what happened. I do see they're talking about replaying the match, so I'm going to give them a second and see. Up to the Red Alliance, if they are willing to extend a replay due to the tech issues there.
I think it is a 30-point match with Evan disconnecting.
Yeah.
So if Evan doesn't disconnect, I think this is within grasp of the Blue Alliance. And with some more chaos happening on red, this could swing in favor of blue. But we'll have to wait and see if they do choose to replay or not.
It looks like
That
they
is up to the
are, so
player.
we're going back to the field here.
Awesome. We get an 11th match. That's amazing. Overtime.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, here we go. They're getting it off right away. And they are off to the races, folks. All robots moving, all robots scoring their preloads, it looks like. Labib trying his best here to get an auto. Doesn't quite get it, though. But scores at L1 regardless, before going straight over to the blue side of the field to play some defense, as he has been doing the last few matches of this division today. 69 to 56. It is in favor of blue right away, which is not what we saw last match. So maybe this replay will turn some tables here. And the lead is only growing as well. Jello
Not having a
having a
good time
coral
right
stuck
now.
inside of his
Yeah.
end effector there is very unfortunate. We love coral physics in Reefscape. 110 to 87, only a 20-point match. We saw this last game. So we will see if Red is able to bring it back.
Red is going to start processor spamming, which will work pretty well here. That blue, yep, there it goes. The barge
Yeah,
is
they're
very
bouncing
full.
out. Very, very full. And Mello only stacking more up there.
They're going to need a lot more of those bounce outs, though.
It looks like C is getting some algae off the reef to do just that. After he scores some more coral, of course. Getting a little bit stuck there on the reef, but he gets unstuck pretty quickly and goes to score a processor, which sadly does not go in. But he puts it back in, having a little bit of trouble. There he goes, he got it. Evan and Zachary, two coral scoring machines, going ham on the reef there, trying to make sure that they can keep this lead and win this match. 191 to 145. With 20 seconds left on the clock, Mello is putting a lot of algae into that blue barge. I think that's the most filled barge we've seen in ladder yet.
Yeah, that is wild. Ooh, a foul there.
Foul there, trying to go in favor of red here, but looks like blue has this, which they do. 231 to 179. The replay did indeed swing the tide of the match here. Labib only getting 7 contrib, but that does not include the valuable contribution of his defense that he played against the Blue Alliance, but sadly was not enough for the win. With Zachary putting up 99 his final match of Div 4, because he will be promoting to Div 3 here with C. Zachary 8-2, pretty dominant wins, pretty dominant here inside of Division 4. And C will be joining him going to Div 3 next week. Evan and Jello will be staying in Div 4, welcoming all the new folks from Div 3 and 5. And sadly, we will have to say goodbye to Mello and Labib 07 in the chat, everybody. They will be going down to Div 5 for next week. And we will see who they will be firsting against once we play the Div 5 matches soon.
Yeah, really strong week from Zachary there. Which
very
I
strong
think you
week.
did kind of call. You did say at the top of the stream that you did expect him to be the strongest, and he did prove it.
I've played a lot with Zachary, so I had a feeling. I see him possibly even going to Div 2, not going to lie.
Wow.
I can see that happening. But we'll have to see later on. This did actually, the replay did swing the tides in terms of who placed first.
Yeah.
It was C before the replay, but because they were very graciously professional. Zachary now places first, giving him a little bit of an advantage going into Division 3 next week.
Yeah, he'll be that 5th seed instead of the 6th seed.
Correct. But most dominant win we've seen so far in ladder by Zachary 54-54. So high hopes for him in Div 3 and maybe even on to Div 2. C also very strong coral scorer for these divisions. So we'll see how much he can cook in Div 3. And maybe we'll see Labib back and Mello in Div 4 in 2 weeks, promoting out of Div 5, but we'll have to wait and see.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll probably have, I'm not sure what the schedule is right here, but we'll probably have more matches later this week for the rest of week 1. We have to get those Div 2 and Div 1 matches streamed here. They were recorded, they were played earlier this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later.
See you.